Hi Rockers, Joe here. Today I will be making carne asada tacos. The recipe is pretty simple. We'll be using cilantro, onion, lime, tortillas, and steak. And of course some type of hot sauce to go with this, but there's not that many ingredients. I hope you enjoy watching and following along. Thanks Rockers. This recipe will serve 3 to 4 people. I'm going to start by making tortillas. I'm just going to show you how I make them. I didn't include this in the recipe because it can be hard to find maseca. Maseca is just a corn flour that we use to make tortillas. All you need is the maseca and water. I'm using 2 cups of maseca to about 1.5 cups of hot water and salt, of course. So we just slowly add water and then mix this together. Eventually we'll start forming a ball. After it's all mixed, I'll move to my hands and just knead it for a few minutes until it's a really nice cohesive dough ball. And then I'll let it sit on the side for a little while. In the meantime, I'm going to chop my cilantro and my onion. These are really basic tacos, but the onion and cilantro mixed with lime and the steak and the corn tortillas really come together to make something amazing. The limes we're just cutting to garnish so you can squeeze on top of the tacos. And then this is the steak I'm using. This steak is about €9 a kilo. I buy it at the local market. I believe it's like in the US we call it flank steak or sirloin. And the butcher fillets it for me and cuts it thin, and then I cut it into cubes at home. Now I'll season it, quite a bit of salt just to taste, chili powder. If you don't have chili powder, you can definitely use paprika. And then a little garlic as well. I'm using granulated garlic, and I had some cumin laying around, so just a little bit of cumin. We'll mix this together, and then I'll let this sit while I'm making the tortillas. I won't put back in the refrigerator, just let it sit for a little while at room temperature. Now that my dough's been sitting for 10 minutes or so, I'm just gonna start making little balls, a little smaller than golf balls. And I have a tortilla press, which isn't entirely necessary. You could roll these out with a pin, but it's much harder. The tortilla press is really fast, and I bought mine on Amazon, but there's some Mexican stores in Madrid that sell them as well. So if you love tortillas, it's definitely worth it. Then once all your tortillas are done, you take a piping hot pan that's smoking, and you add your tortillas. No oil, no butter, nothing, just the pan. You let them cook until they just start to brown a little bit, and then we'll flip them. I'm using the heaviest skillet I have for the carne asada. The skillet's really hot, as you can see, it's smoking. I added a tiny bit of olive oil, maybe about a teaspoon to a tablespoon, and then add your carne asada and leave it alone. We're just gonna let it really sear, get some brown marks on it. After about 1 to 2 minutes, when it's really seared, we'll just mix it and finish cooking it. The key here is that the heat is high enough that there's no water coming out of the steak. So basically it's just staying really hot and it's searing really well. That's it. That's all the steak. It's cooked, it's done. And now I'm serving it all together with my onions, cilantro, limes, tortillas, and then I have a sauce I made with avocado and water basically, and some chilies. Really simple recipe, but it's definitely a crowd pleaser. Thanks for watching, Rockers. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great week.